Good morning, Miss. My name is Engineer Shankar from BLE 7A1. Today, I will be speaking about one of the most urgent conservation issues in Southeast Asia, saving the critically endangered Borneo orangutan and restoring its habitat in Malaysia, Borneo. This island of Borneo, which is shared by Malaysia, Indonesia, and Brunei, is globally recognized as one of the most biologically rich regions on Earth. It is home to over 1,100 species of animals and more than 15,000 species of plants, many of which are found nowhere else in the world. Among them is the Bornean orangutan, a species that play a vital role in maintaining forest ecosystems but is now hanging on the brink of extinction. Back in 1970s, it was estimated that around 288,500 orangutans roam the forests of Borneo, but over the decades this number has dropped drastically, mainly due to illegal logging, widespread deforestation, forest fire, and the expansion of palm oil plantation. These activities have destroyed and fragmented the orangutan's natural habitat, using their food source and nesting area. By 2012, the population has declined to about 104,700, and if no immediate action is taken, it could be dropped just 47,000 by the year 2025. Recognizing the severity of crisis, WWF Malaysia, together with the Sabah Wildlife Department and various private and community partners, launched a large-scale restoration initiative at the Bukit Piton Forest Reserve in Sabah. This site was once so degraded by logging and fire that it was reduced to little more than scattered scrub, completely unsuitable for wildlife survival. But over time, through dedicated planting of native tree species and proper forest management, Bukit Piton has started to recover. It is now becoming a livable habitat once again, not only for orangutans but for countless other species that depend on the healthy rainforest. This presentation will take you through the importance of this project, the challenge faced, and the strategy need to protect these magnificent apes not just through conservation but by rebuilding the very ecosystems they depend on. Through this, I hope to highlight how conservation is not just about saving a species but about restoring balance in our relationship with nature.
Hi, a very good evening to my niece and to my friends. My name is Divya, daughter of Supaya, and I'm from class 7A1. My ID number is 2450014. I am here today to present my part in group assignment, which is the issues and challenges in saving Malaysian endangered animals like the orangutan. One of the biggest problem is habitat loss due to deforestation for palm oil, plantations, logging, and urban development. This forces animals out of their natural homes. Forest fires also contribute by destroying large areas of rainforest. Another major issue is the illegal wildlife trade. Orangutans are often captured and sold, especially baby orangutans. Sadly, enforcement of wildlife laws is still weak. Another major issue is the human wildlife conflict, where animals enter farms or villages and may be harmed by people protecting their crops. In addition, lack of funding and limited resources make it hard for conservation centers to rescue and rehabilitate animals properly. Many efforts also suffer from low public awareness, as not everyone understands the importance of protecting these species. There are also policies and enforcement gaps. Sometimes laws are delayed or not properly carried out, and different agencies may have overlapping roles. Finally, small and isolated populations leads to loss of genetic diversity, making species like the orangutans more vulnerable to extinctions. That's why we must act now to protect, educate, and conserve our precious wildlife. Thank you.
Good day to everyone, good day to Miss. I'm Prita from class 7A1. I will be presenting the suggestions and recommendations section of our topic on Malaysian endangered animals, focusing on orangutans. Currently, our group chose the article Restoring Orangutan Habitat in Malaysia, published by the Worldwide Fund WWF. This article highlights the urgent need to protect the orangutan population, especially in areas like the Hulu Segama Forest Reserve in Sabah. Orangutans are vital part of Malaysia's biodiversity. Unfortunately, their populations has declined due to widespread deforestation, mainly from logging and palm oil plantations. Without urgent action, they could soon vanish from our forests forever. So here are the several key suggestions and recommendations based on article which can help us to save orangutans and restore their natural environment. First, forest restoring and replanting. First, we need to do restore degraded forests. WWS is already working into replant native trees in damaged areas. This provide food, shelter, and safe pathway for orangutans. But we must expand their efforts across more forests, rivers, reserves. Reconnecting isolated forest patches will allow orangutans to move safely without coming into contact with human settlements, reducing the risk of conflict or capture. Second, we're moving to the second point, which is stronger legal protection. Second laws protecting forests must be enforced more strictly. Although Malaysia has protected areas, illegal logging still threatens orangutan habitats. The government should increase monitoring efforts and patrols, especially in high risk zones. There should also be a harsher penalties for the illegal deforestation and more support to turn temporary forest reserves into permanent ones. And then we are moving to the third point, which is support sustainable palm oil, which is palm oil is a major causes of deforestation. However, instead of banning it, WWF recommends promoting sustainable palm oil practices. Companies should be encouraged to follow RSPO standards, that is roundable on sustainable palm oil, to ensure the further destruction of orangutan habitats. At the same time, consumers can support this by choosing products with sustainable palm oil labels. And then we are moving to engage local committees, which is we should involve local communities in conservation work. People living near orangutan habitats can become allies instead of threats. For example, they can be trained as forest rangers or work in ecotourism projects. This provides income while protecting the environment. Education programs can also help locals to, especially youths, to understand the importance of saving orangutans. Technology for monitoring. Modern technology like drones and satellite imaging can be used to track the forest health and detect illegal activities in real time. With these tools, enforcement agencies can respond faster and researchers can monitor orangutans' movements to protect them more efficiently. And then rescue and rehabilitations programs, which orangutans that have lost their homes or been injured must be rescued and cared. Centers like Block in Sabah already do the amazing work by rescuing, rehabilitating, and releasing orangutans into the safe environments. This program should be supported with proper funding, trained staff, and medical care. In conclusions, are not just part of our wildlife, they are also symbol of our nature heritage. Saving them means protecting our forests, our climate, and our future. By restoring forests, enforcing laws, promoting sustainability, involving communities, and using technology, we can make a real difference. Let's work together to ensure that future generation will be still able to see orangutans swinging freely through the rainforest of Malaysia. Thank you.
In conclusion, the story of the Bornean orangutan and the Bukit Piton Restoration Project is a powerful reminder of both the damage we have caused to our natural world and the hope we can still hold on to if we can we act in time. From a population of nearly 290,000 orangutans in the 1970s to the grim reality of barely 100,000 today, the numbers alone tell a story of crisis. But more importantly, they also reveal our responsibility. Habitat destruction from logging, forest fire, and palm oil expansion did not just destroy trees. It fragmented entire ecosystem and pushed one of our closest relatives closer to extinction. Yet, amid this devastation, Bukit Piton stands as a symbol of what is still possible. Thanks to the efforts of WWF Malaysia, the Sabah Wildlife Department, and the committed partners, over 30,000 acres of land once considered barren have been brought back to life. Native trees now rise where there was once only ash and scrubs. Orangutans, once isolated and struggling, are now being spotted more frequently, with baby orangutans among them, proving that the forest is healing. This success, however, is only the beginning. It shows us the meaningful change take time, collaboration, and consistent effort. Protecting the Bornean orangutan or any endangered species is not just about saving animals. It is about restoring the ecosystem they depend on, involving local communities in conservation, promoting sustainable industry, and educating the public to create lasting awareness and action. We still have a long way to go, but if we continue to act with urgency and unity, we can ensure that the forests of Borneo will not fall silent and that future generations will still have the chance to witness the majesty of the orangutan in the wild. Thank you.